Okay, we're going live. Let's see. I think we're live.
Should I tweet this or something?
Yeah, you should tweet it.
Did you tweet it?
Yeah, I tweeted from the official. Let's see. I think we're live now.
Yeah. Where's all the viewers? Where are all the viewers are gone? Oh,
Yeah.
they must be minting Zen, right?
Only the true deviants are here. Guys, let's go. Who's ready? Here's a question for you. Who's ready to infiltrate the Bitcoin blockchain with first principles of crypto? We have something. Welcome, every Senian and every future Senian and etc. We have something very, very, very special for the Zenian community tonight. Let me know if you can hear me all right, or if something is up. This is going to be a lot of fun. We've been planning this for some time. We've been trying to find a spot to actually make it through. We've been very eager to do this, and it's finally time, guys. But first, we have to present our amazing superstars on the streams. How you doing, Mr. Jack? Mr. Jack Levin, Mr. Titan of Crypto. How you doing?
Yeah. You mentioned one of the trigger words, infiltration. I hear I'm good at that. Infiltrating. So I love infiltrating.
Yeah, you are.
Yeah, let's do more of that, right?
Yeah. Let's go everywhere. Let's take down all of them. You are a hero. You're very sick. You've been sick for many days. I don't notice this because you're more active than ever in our team chats and and everything.
Too much minting, staking, and burning, and not enough blood. Clearly.
You need some blood,
dude. Vampires, work-life balance. It's an important thing. It's a thing too.
Work-blood balance, exactly. And we have the amazing XENKnights, the artist who's made these incredible artworks for this special project. How you doing, buddy?
Yo! Hey everyone. Hope you've all had a happy hump day.
Awesome. Are you excited for this project?
Yes, sir. I'm very excited. We're gonna infiltrate Bitcoin.
Yes, we are. What's your experience with Bitcoin?
Well, in the beginning, it took me forever to come around to liking it. Like when I was first getting into crypto, like I just loved Ethereum. I thought Ethereum was really cool. But as it's like that funny thing they say, like you first start in crypto and like pump and dumps and stuff, and then you finally, after years, you find your way to Bitcoin. Like that's a running joke in Bitcoin community. It's kind of true for me, where at least I have come around to the point where I respect Bitcoin for what it is, and I find it more valuable than I did a year or two ago. Like I see kind of what's good about it, basically.
Right.
Like one thing I like about it is how truly decentralized it is compared to some of its competitors.
Compared to Zen?
No, Zen gives it a run for its money, at least. Well, it gives it a chance. Or not a chance, you know what I mean?
Yeah, Bitcoin is very interesting, and there's it's the mother of all blockchains, and it's the reason why we are even here today. So we have to be very grateful. We have to remember the roots, and we see Zen as the amplification of the first principles of Satoshi's first principles. So if Satoshi is God, Jack is Jesus. And we are ready to take over the world with the same principles that was intended for Bitcoin. So guys, we have a lot to cover, so I'm just going to go straight in. This is the agenda for today. I'm going to do a small recap, very small, on the Ordinal stream that I did a few weeks ago. And I do recommend that you watch it. But we're going to just go through the bullet points of that stream I made, because it's very, I think I covered in the most basic components in order to understand what this whole thing is about in the first place. Then we've prepared an auction. We coded an auction that's very interesting. So we're going to go through how that works with the schematic, and then we're also going to demonstrate how that works. We have a live demo going on right now, so we're going to show you how you can practice it. And I can give you the alpha right now. This live demo is going to be for 3 days. We just started it. And the live auction is also going to be 3 days. It's a 72-hour auction. This is an experimental thing. We do it one time. The auction will start, I think we said on Monday, right, Jack? So if all goes well, Monday we are totally live with this thing. We're also going to talk a little bit about utility, because every time you convert your economic energy from something to something else, we need to understand why we're doing it. And if you stick through to the end, I'm going to show you a wallet that we really like. It's an OG Bitcoin wallet, Sparrow wallet. And this is superior to other wallets when you want to understand what goes on. It's a little bit complicated at first, and that's why I want to demonstrate how it works. But it really gives you, Bitcoin has the UTXO as the account model, and that is different from Ethereum, from the account model there. So this wallet really gives you a good understanding of how it all works and how these transactions go as inputs, and then with the transaction turns into outputs. So any questions, kids? Any questions, Jack or XENKnights?
No, I'm good to go. I'm ready to get into it.
Ready to go. So let's just start by talk a little bit about what we talked last time, just to orient yourself. We talked a little bit about what Bitcoin is and what the blockchain is, how the incentive structures are built up, and how blocks are being produced. We talk about the halving mechanisms of Bitcoin, and we know we can also go here into mempool.space and see how these blocks are being produced in real time. So if you want to know about that, you can check the stream. And then we described in detail what ordinals actually are. And for those of you who don't know it, what's really cool with this is that now we have this thing called ordinal theory, which allows us to give each individual Satoshi, in the order they are mined, a serial number, an ordinal number. So that's number one. Number two is that not only do they have a number, but you can also inscribe arbitrary data on them. So this opens up to a whole new universe of possibilities. And one thing we have to have in mind is this concept of fungibility, because Bitcoin as money is, of course, fungible in the sense that one Bitcoin is one Bitcoin. But with this, when you can inscribe data on one individual SAT, you can actually increase the value of that individual SAT, and that individual SAT can actually become more valuable than one Bitcoin. So we have to bear in mind how all of these things fit together in terms of fungibility. And when it comes to NFTs, we know that, for instance, if we have our beautiful Zen Apex unicorns, for an NFT to be an NFT, you need to be able to attach an NFT to something, so on chain. It needs to have an owner, it needs to be transferable. So in order for that to happen, an NFT needs identifiers. And this is the reason why ordinals are so interesting, because Bitcoin doesn't have any stable identifiers natively. And when you're able to give an individual SAT an ordinal number, then we can inscribe, we can mark something, we can attach arbitrary data to this ordinal, and once it's being transferred, this arbitrary data is being moved along with it. So I'm going in hyper speed here, guys, but I'm just trying to summarize so you guys have an overview. We also described the difference between account and UTXO model, which is very important. So when the state changes in this transaction, in the account model that we're used to in Ethereum, the account is the same all the time, but with the UTXO, the address is constantly changing. You have inputs and you have outputs. And what else? Yes, we talked about how an ordinal is transferred, and I'm going to demonstrate that a little bit more. We talked about the concept of immutability, scarcity, and storage. And this is very interesting, of course, because with NFTs, most NFTs, they are stored in a centralized server somewhere. So NFTs, of course, are different because they are immutable, they're fully on chain. But with Bitcoin, sort of the default state, the default mode for each ordinal, and if NFT is one use case for ordinals, then it's very interesting that the default mode is immutability. We also talked about scarcity in storage. There's 2.1 quadrillion Satoshis ordinals. So how is that scarce? Well, the scarcity comes from the fact that in order for you to inscribe an ordinal on the chain, you really need to, you're limited by everyone else wanting to inscribe as well or transact. So scarcity is a very interesting aspect of it. We also talked about Taproot and the upgrade to Bitcoin that made this all possible together with ordinal theory. And this is a very important thing to realize, why it's even possible now to do it. And it's thanks to this Taproot upgrade. And one important thing to mention here is that there's different kinds of addresses with Bitcoin, and Taproot address starts with BC1P, and this is very important for you to understand. So you have the right kind of wallet. And then we talked a lot about the different narratives and the changes and the explosive growth of ordinals and whatever happens with Bitcoin now. It gives me sort of the same vibes back in 2020 when DeFi became a big narrative, and we all know what DeFi led to. So don't sleep on ordinals. That's the conclusion. What do you say, guys?
Yeah, definitely don't sleep on ordinals. It's the first time a Satoshi isn't equal to a Satoshi. So didn't we have a poop emoji go on sale for $28,000 inscribed on a single Satoshi?
Yeah. I had it as an example here as well.
yeah. Let's see it.
Yeah.
So someone bought a poop emoji for 1.2 BTC inscribed on a single Satoshi.
Right.
So that I would say signifies the creation of new market.
An interesting note is that I was there for Doge in the beginning, and I think of Zen a lot as Doge, and I ended up giving up on Doge because it took so long for it to go anywhere. I was like 14 or 15 at the time. And then with Ethereum NFTs, what I was going to say about Zen and Doge is that Zen is so much faster than Doge. I feel like it's like it feels the same as Doge, but going along the same curve a lot faster. And then Ethereum NFTs took forever to get anywhere, and then Bitcoin ordinals are already doing huge numbers of volume and trading. And so I feel like while people might want to FUD ordinals or something, there's the synthesis and the antithesis. And then there's the thesis, the antithesis, and then the synthesis, right? So everybody has their thesis, everybody has their antithesis, and then there's actually what's going to happen. And from what I can see, Bitcoin ordinals are ramping up in activity way faster than Ethereum NFT started off in the beginning.
Well, I think it's because they're backed by the real value, and no one can argue that Bitcoin doesn't have value. I mean, it's
true. They're backed by one Satoshi. Yep.
Well, it's not really. I mean, you could argue it's backed by one Satoshi. What I actually meant to say it's within an ecosystem that has the highest amount of the TVL, so to speak. So
I see what you're saying.
So let's imagine the Bitcoin market cap is larger than Ethereum right now because the flipping hasn't happened yet. So when you introduce new digital products within the ecosystem that has the most money, you would expect the ecosystem to thrive.
Right. True. Agreed.
It's the same Zen is really thriving on the most expensive EVM chain, Ethereum. And when I say thriving, I mean in terms of how much money it's making for the minters and the traders and NFT users. The volumes are just 100x versus all other chains.
Right.
And that's really just because it's like walking into a poker room, and then there's this golden one that has the high stakes poker room where your lowest bet is $1,000 and not like $2.
That's the table everyone wants to play at one day.
They want to play it because the pots are larger, right? So you want to be there eventually. I mean, I never been at one. I'm just not that much of a gambler, I guess. But I can see the relevance.
Yeah. I've only been to a casino once myself. I lost my money.
This is an interesting casino because in this process, let's go through the schematic right away. You participate. So we're going to describe now how you're going to participate in this auction. It's very simple. It might look very complex, but it's more simple than it looks. So you as a user, you come to Zen.network, and the first thing that you're going to be urged to do is to provide, after you connect it to the site, of course, is to place your bid. So you're actually going to say how much of Zen you want to participate in this auction. When you're doing that, you're also going to provide your Taproot wallet ID. So that's the Bitcoin address. And this is important that it's correct, and it's up to you to make sure that it is correct. And this is important to provide at this stage because this is the address that if you are a winner, that we're going to send the winning ordinal to. And the next step for you is to approve the burn, of course, the same thing as we do with NFTs. And then when you approve, you actually place your bid. Now, usually in an auction, you should have you're placing your bid and you're going to be a bit tactical about it. Everyone is an expert now since we have the DBZen auctions going live for some time now. And man, they have been burning Zen. That's quite insane. But you should always have the possibility to up your bid. So you can do that. We're going to demonstrate how. And then the auction will be live for 72 hours. So after the 72 hours is up, the top 100 bidders, they are going to win this super duper special XENKnights Ordinal, and they're going to be airdropped to the Taproot, as we explained. Now, we don't want any losers in this auction. So the way we set up the contract is in such a way that if you're not in this top 100 bidders, then you're going to be able to claim back all the Zen that you bidded for. So that's pretty cool. Now, if you do win the Zen that you bidded with, all these 100 winners, all the Zen that they bidded with is going to get burned. And this is a function that we or anyone else can call to make sure that it actually happens. Jack, what's tell us about the thoughts of this architecture and how the code works.
So I would say not to get too technical, but I guess more economical in a way. When you have something like Zen that has a hyperinflation built in within the first, I would say, couple of years, if we're indeed could use it as peer-to-peer cash, we're building all of those consumers of Zen that actually can be the opposite of what Zen is. So that's how idea for Nex came about. So Nex is a reflection of Zen, right? And the biggest difference between all projects that are launching on top of Zen is that they have limited supply. The supply is capped. It's not technically true for Phoenix because it actually pays with inflation. But with DBZen and with XENKnights, how many XENKnights do we have? Like 100, right? So definitely there is a cap, very, very hard cap. Now with DBZen, there is a hard cap of 5 million with 75% of all of the tokens to be distributed the first 2 years. So it has a combination of FOMO and the cappiness for its lifetime. Now, the way to merge those two aspects of the ecosystem together is you need to provide some sort of variable conversion ratio or conversion rate between one crypto asset and the other. So something that's infinite like Zen, but yet disinflationary over time, should convert into a cap supply with a particular ratio of conversion. Now, the best way to set the ratio or the rate is through the participation of the market itself. So that's what XENKnights and DBZen are actually doing. We have daily auctions where people can participate with as much or as little Zen they're willing to participate with, and convert to a rate dictated by the market. Now that's beautiful because it's out of our hands. We're not the ones setting the rate in any way. And the fairness in transparency is 100% real, just because you're competing against the people within the community and not against any sort of like founder allocation or anything like that. So, but on a technical financial level, we have this floating variable rate of conversion from Zen to DBZen and actually, obviously to XENKnights, because it uses the same method. So it's organic, it's market driven, it's first principles, it's beautiful, and it's really is a marketplace. So a marketplace, you could say, well, a marketplace by definition should have many projects. Now we're looking at DBZen as the first comer to the marketplace, and Zen is the currency of choice. Well, the only currency, obviously, because that's how we planned it. Now, if we see 20 different projects like XENKnights and DBZen in the next couple of years, that becomes the Zen's ecosystems marketplace that consumes Zen, makes Zen more scarce. Now we're actually seeing that the Zen's emissions rate is less than its consumption. So the liquid supply of Zen is rapidly shrinking, making it more valuable, which is great for people who do not care about participating or doing any work. Like if you got into Zen in March, you would be sitting on 4x, 5x return in April. Now that's great for the bear market. The other thing that's great about it is that the gains are driven by the protocol execution and people's participation, not founder statements or hopium or any sort of forward-looking elements out there, which is how 99% of cryptos are driven. That you release your token, you pre-mint a bunch, and then you do something to entice people to buy more of it by promising something that may or may not come. And we see it everywhere. Now, what really makes this great is that the protocol that is healthy can actually produce a lot of value. And that's actually, I would say, a very important element within this theme of hyperstructure. In hyperstructure, you can actually play non-zero sum games. Now, what does it mean playing non-zero sum games? It actually means that for every winner, there isn't really a lot of losers. Like I would say, people end up winning as the ecosystem scales, and the hyperstructure allows that to actually be practiced, and that's what we're seeing with Zen. And one of the ways to explain it simply is that you could argue that DBZen is like a pyramid without the top, because whoever came early, like let's say a whale came into DBZen early, and they got a bunch of tokens, but they're getting diluted every day if they don't participate. The amount of tokens that they can get is always limited by the daily emission. And then if a bunch of minnows and shrimps and dolphins come in for the next few months, you're no longer a whale because, well, your stake and your allocation in the pie has shrunk to pretty much nothing. Now that actually is a very important element within the game theory here, is that not a single individual gets to unreasonably gain from the system, because it's all based on fairness, really, and it's also linked to how much you're participating. If you're not participating, you're just getting diluted. So that's why I think this sort of DB-Zen ecosystem is so sticky.
Right, and it's very interesting because we haven't seen this before, and we do always realize, and we get this a lot, and of course through adoption we get so many more people coming in, and it's very hard to navigate in all of this. But really, the Zen is the foundation of everything, and everything that's being built on top of Zen is utilizing Zen for their projects through burning mechanisms and through auctions and whatnot. And we have seen this with DB-Zen, which has absolutely crushed it. They deployed on 10 different chains. They used the horizontal scaling of Zen. And we could see quickly after that, you had spin-offs such as Exlon that built utility for DB-Zen on top of Zen. But and that lives sort of its own life now, and it's amazing to see. And if you're following the auctions on Zen.pub, you can see the insane amount of activity. I think in only 20 days, over $5 million worth of Zen have been burned. So this is beneficial to the whole Zen ecosystem. But we can always come back to Zen as the base. And now we're going into another very interesting experimental area, which is the Bitcoin integration, which is the first non-EVM chain that the Zen ecosystem is interacting with. And then we have another branch, which is Phoenix, and so on and so forth. So this is going to be a big tree with a lot of different branches, and everything just works very well together. It's an amazing harmony. And as Jack says here, if you don't want to participate in all this degenuity or Zen-genuity, then you can just, with the lowest barriers possible, participate in the minting.
Yeah,
Guys,
yeah. Like, for example, if you're just minting and you're having a good time doing it, and you're minting max term, you don't have any liquid Zen, you don't have to have a FOMO to feel like you're missing out, just because the consumption of Zen is rapidly decreasing its supply, driving its value higher. So your future mints can be 10x, 20x, 100x, who knows? But my point is that let the market be bring you benefits by default, and you don't even have to go crazy about being in every project, because every project actually makes the hyperstructure more valuable. And one thing that I would say is, in March, our ecosystem was valued at $8 million. $8 million of a market cap, right? Now, guess where we are today? We're at 36, 37, 38 million in just a couple of weeks. So a lot of people were confused. They were thinking, well, if I burn Zen for this, is it like squeezing a balloon from one side and the other side gets larger? Like, where's the money coming from? So what we saw is Zen and DB-Zen pump together. So when things pump together, that actually means that there is an influx of new money and new interest into the ecosystem that has a net positive increase on the total market cap of all projects. And by the way, guys, the Zenturians, the ZenFTs on OpenSea, the volume quadrupled and their price has tripled. So even the NFT area got impacted.
That's awesome. Let's go back to XENKnights, and let's demo this auction. So this whole schematic that we just showed you, this is how it's going to look. You go to you can go now to preview.zen.network. I'm going to post it in the chat right now so you can participate. And then when we're live, you of course go to zen.network, and then you press Knights here. Then you get to the XENKnight auction. And this is the UI. This is how it's going to look. And we just started this test auction right now that you can participate in. So it's just a very simple page where the bids come up here, and the person who has burned the most, of course, gets the rank number 1. So it's simple as that. Let's place a new bid here. So as you can see, you need to have, and by the way, we are on the X1 DevNet chain to do this test auction. But you need, of course, Zen in your wallet, and then you press here, simply new bid, and I'm gonna put in 10, and then you put in your, this is, remember what I said, guys, this is BC1P. That's a Taproot enabled Bitcoin wallet. So you just paste it there from your Bitcoin wallet, and then you, now I already placed a bid. So for you, it's gonna be approved first, and once you approved, then you're gonna place the bid. But I'm going to go ahead and place the bid, and then I just confirm this transaction in my wallet. And now, once this bid comes out, the Zen goes into the contract, and it's going to remain there until the auction stops. If you're the winner, they're going to get burned. If you're not a winner, then you're going to be able to claim back your
yeah. So I'm also placing a bid right now, and I'm bidding 123 Zen. So maybe it will show up too.
What? So you're overbidding me in the live demo?
Yeah, I want to be number one. I want to be the head vampire.
Ah, okay. Did you place it already?
It's coming in. It's confirmed on the network, so it should be in.
Okay. Let's see. You just have to you have to update the site. Oh, there it is.
Oh, there we go. There we go. So what are you gonna do, Zensu? Are you gonna still try to win?
I want one. I really want one. So I'm gonna overbid, and I want to be top number one. So let's see. I had 123. So then you just go here, guys, and you can top up. So note that you can see this little I don't know what you call this. This little crocodile. That's you. And then you just place bid. So I'm gonna up. My math sucks today, so I'm just gonna go ape in and scare everyone else away.
Okay, well, don't burn all of your Zen. You need it.
Exactly. And that's basically the auction. We wanted to minimize it. We want to make it super clean, super easy, and this goes on for 3 days. And you have the countdown up here.
Okay. Well, I sent another bid.
Again?
Yeah.
What the hell?
Bidding war.
Bidding war live.
Bidding war.
Mother jacker.
It's like a Sotheby's auction.
Oh, well, you're number one now.
Now on the one. So let's leave it there. Let's leave it there for now.
Okay.
Maybe come back. But,
okay, no more bidding.
The question then is, what do you win as a winner? Why are you giving up your valuable, sweet, precious Zen, and for who? You're winning one of these 100 inscribed already Ordinals, which is unique art pieces by XENKnights. So XENKnight, take it away. What are we winning here if we're winning the auction?
One, for the record, every time I see this on the official site, it like makes my heart stop. Just for the record, like it's like surreal to me. So each ordinal is basically so I guess I'll say it like this. So the 100 pieces are themed around Zen meeting Bitcoin and Bitcoin meeting Zen. They are custom made, custom edited, made in collaboration with AI. Like I use the AI to generate images. I would layer images, pull assets from one image into another, and make any edits I want to do. And then I begin to repixelate the image with AI, which blends the edits I did into the image and makes the edits look more natural. And so basically, each ordinal is an uncensorable work of art that will exist on-chain forever, and is also an on-chain provenance that you participated in the auction and won the respective art. Like, for example, if someone, when these are all given out, if they copy and paste one onto a new ordinal, like they make ordinal 1,100,050, and they put like the work of art on there, that ordinal is like as if I just put the Bored Ape Yacht Club art on a new NFT today. It has no on-chain provenance to the auction that you participated or anything. So essentially, it has no real worth, right? And so I guess it's a good opportunity also here to talk about what crypto art is, because essentially the Ordinals are the XENKnights are Bitcoin crypto art, which is not something people are really traditionally used to. They're normally traditionally used to like Ethereum crypto art. And so for people who don't really know what crypto art is like normally digitally native. So like the artwork is normally created, bought, and sold all digitally. It's geographically agnostic, which means that like anyone in the world can participate in buying, selling, bidding, whatever. Being a fan, whatever, because it's done through blockchain, through the internet. It's typically permissionless. It's decentralized. It can be anonymous or pseudonymous. It's normally self-referential, and by self-referential, I mean like crypto art normally has themes and references things that are kind of like inside jokes or things that are like things that only crypto native people will know about. Like, for example, these XENKnights are about Zen meeting Bitcoin and Bitcoin meeting Zen. And if you see this as a normie or someone who has no idea what crypto is, you have no idea what the X really has to do with anything. You kind of might know what Bitcoin is, so you might like question that, and it makes you look into it, which is exactly what happened to me when I got into Ethereum. I didn't know what Gwei was, Gwei, and actually through art I learned what Gwei was because I kept seeing it over and over in crypto art, and I ended up just looking it up because I had no idea what it was. I'm trying to think what else.
So basically it's NFTs, right? Crypto art is NFT.
Yes, exactly. But I was just trying to give color to the roots of what crypto art is all about, basically. It's also pro artist, no middleman. That's the big one. I didn't remember to mention. Yeah, no middleman.
Yeah.
And to mention on all of these, you have some reference to Bitcoin and some reference to an X, and there's 100 of them. They've been inscribed already, and the reason why we inscribed them was because there's some value to being early to inscriptions. So we wanted that value to pertain in these XENKnight ordinals. And they have a rarity. So the number one, the most valuable, is going to we're going to inscribe a rarity chart as well. So you can reference the ordinal you got, and that's going to be an immutable rarity chart in itself, which is pretty cool. Jack, how are we going to inscribe the rarity chart?
What do you mean inscribe?
We're going to inscribe the rarity chart with the table.
Well, you mean like will the ordinals have their own rarity based on some sort of calculation? Is that what you're asking?
No, just that we were going to inscribe the rarity chart for these ordinals, so there's a reference to each one.
I don't know, dude. I mean, it's all you. I mean, we should like be creative about this.
Yeah, we have some ideas on that. You also
By the way, real quick before we move off the digital art, would you like to see my very first NFT ever?
Yeah.
That I bought. So I just sent you a message on the private chat. Let's see if we can bring it up.
I'm excited.
It's the first art. Yep.
Oh, a crypto kitty. These were all over Twitter when I was getting into.
This is my first NFT that I have gotten. I think it was 2017 maybe or 18. All of a sudden, Ethereum broke, and I'm like, "What the hell's going on? Like, why can't I do anything?" And they're like, "Oh, CryptoKitties break Ethereum." I'm like, "Okay, I should get me one of those at least." So I think I paid $300 in fees and like $500 for the CryptoKitty. So this is the Kitty OG from like generation 1 or 2.
That's so cool.
That I grabbed. Yeah, so digital art or digital artifacts, actually very important, aspect of crypto that has its own valuation. In many ways, So like what's really interesting is that the ERC20 crowd sometimes does not even get into NFTs, and NFT guys do not talk about ERC20 at all. So they don't care about DeFi. They just care about collectability and just all the things that you can do. So it's very, very interesting that now we can do it with Bitcoin, and we're lucky to learn about this early. And so all of the XENKnights are inscribed in the low 300,000 numbers. So I think right now we're over 1 million for the Ordinal IDs, but we were able to inscribe. By the way, I inscribed them when we were at consensus. So I looked at the Bitcoin's load when it comes to fees. I'm like, oh my God, the load is like so low. I should like inscribe all of the XENKnights right now. And I went to the batch inscriber, and I think I paid two sats per byte. And when it comes to inscribing 100 of those images, I think the cost was like maybe between $1,000 to $2,000. But right now, if we look at the fees on Bitcoin, it could have easily been $20,000 to $30,000 because we went up 10x from that day. I think everybody were busy at consensus, or not consensus, the ETH Denver, and people were not using the chain. So I was able to squeeze myself in and inscribe those ordinals very inexpensively.
That's super awesome. I was trying to get them to you as quick as I could just so that you could get those low fees. I saw the fees were low, and I saw during the day how high they were. I was like, oh my goodness.
Yeah. Zenso, why don't we show the mempool page just to see what we see right now?
Sure.
So the mempool usually depicts the building blocks. So there we go. So the blocks are being built, and you can Zensu click on the one of the blocks, the one that's being built, because it has this really cool animation. So all of those, no, not that one. Go back to the one that's being built. So it has an animation where people are coming in with higher and higher bids, and the total fees you can see $5,000. That's how many fees are miners going to be collecting from this block once it gets mined. And if you want your transactions to get into it, you have to bid more than the average number of transactions. So if you scroll up a little bit, if we just want to see so 14 sats per VB. So VB is like, I think, stands for virtual byte. And also the block size is how much data is being put in. So a lot of those things are actually ordinals. We don't easily see them, but I would expect those larger squares are going to be ordinals because they have a ton of data in them, and obviously those people pay more. So what's really amazing is that I think the miners finally got a major uptick in the fees that they're getting, not just from the mining of Bitcoin itself, which is actually very, very healthy. Now, the Bitcoin maxis, and there's like this group of people that want to keep Bitcoin pure, they would be yelling and screaming and saying, hey, you're polluting the chain. It's not meant to be doing that. It was all supposed to be for Bitcoin transactions and blah, blah, blah. I know that. However, I would say that this other group that embraced openness and development, their argument is that if people are paying high enough dollar amount for the fees, it makes miners more interested to continue mining and makes the network more secure. Because what's really happening in truth is that the miners generate blocks and they sell those blocks to the highest bidder to store your data on those blocks. And so now the miners are not only in the business of inflation of Bitcoin, but also in the business of inscribing blocks with the data that actually could be worth more than the Bitcoin generated and minted itself, which is actually incredible because eventually you're just not going to make a lot of Bitcoins, but this is yet another way for the miners to make revenue. And of course, it's a win-win because, like I said, like we inscribed those ordinals for 2 sats per BB. Now we're at 15 or 20 or 30, and we'll be even higher. So in the estimation of fees, it will make your ordinal immediately more valuable, besides having the OG status of the Zen Ecosystem first Ordinals project. So I'm super psyched about that. Very, very happy. And it also gives us ability to educate people about the Sparrow wallet and what's the UTXOs are all about, how to do transactions properly. Like, remember, Zensu, you sent me 10 ordinals and you accidentally merged them into one UTXO.
Right.
So I spent 10 minutes dislodging them from one UTXO back into 10, and it actually works. But it's really a cool skill to have, and it gives you, I would say, really amazing education when it comes to the UTXO driven blockchains like Bitcoin and Cardano, and I think Polkadot is probably UTXO driven too.
Right. So yeah, you just actually covered all my bullet points for utility basically, but that was awesome. But as you say, like as the number of inscriptions continue to increase, the fees on for Bitcoin miners they help to secure the Bitcoin network. So higher fees should mean that the ordinals also being written on Bitcoin are of higher value, because it will cost more to inscribe data into a single block in the future. That's something that might happen. That's possibly. It's also interesting with the fact that you have Bitcoin's only been used for transactions, but now when it gets other use cases, other utilities, which is going to be the most prevalent utility? So if we look at like what's being inscribed right now, I have some statistics. Here we can see the explosive growth of ordinals. It just comes out of nowhere, and just in just a few months, it's had this explosive growth. And as Jack said, we just passed 1 million. But it's also interesting to see like what is being inscribed. And here you can see the value. What's interesting is the fact that we burned more actually on DB Zen auctions in Zen value that's been inscribed. I just noticed this today in ordinals in total. That's pretty cool. But we can see here what's being inscribed, and it's mostly text. Can you see this, guys? It's a bit small. It's mostly text, but also images and different variations of images. We also have videos, etc. So you can really inscribe like basically any kind of arbitrary data and attach them to these individual satoshis as inscribed ordinals. But it's going to be interesting to see, because if the chain is being used more to inscribe data on them in terms of images or text or whatever, then the fees that you are willing to pay to transact a normal Bitcoin transaction might be too high. So the usage of the Bitcoin blockchain is very interesting to follow. And we don't know. It's like you said, XENKnights. I can't repeat what you said with the different narratives, but
the thesis, the antithesis, and the synthesis.
Right, exactly.
It's a mouthful, but it sounds great.
Right, exactly. So we don't know, but all that we can see is that it makes sense. There's a lot of utility. There's a lot of use cases that can be imagined, and creators are just going nuts with this, and so are we. Yeah, so let's talk about back to the auction. Guys, go here on the FAQ. We described a little bit. I'm just going to go through some of them now. This is an experimental collection limited to 100 unique art pieces inscribed on the Bitcoin blockchain. This explains what inscriptions are, but you're experts at that now. XENKnights, we have him here. So proud to have you with us, brother. Very
proud to be here, honored.
And the auction will probably go for 72 hours, and it will begin probably on Monday. We're almost 100% sure that that's where it starts. How it will work, you can read about. We explained it, and so on and so forth. Read this, guys. Read it through. If there's any uncertainties, go to the Zen Crypto Talk, and we can answer everything there as well. Oh, we have bids coming in. Look at this, guys. I'm not in first place anymore. Who overbid me? Oh, wow.
Ooh, 75 million.
Someone aped in on the DevNet here. So I can't compete. I only have less than 1 million Zen in my DevNet wallet. But someone's hungry.
Yep.
Awesome. It's very fun. Yeah, I also want to mention regarding utility. Jack touched on it, but and what's the utility of one of these XENKnights? I mean, we've been talking about it, but we will answer this as we always have with everything else. We want you guys to understand what you're doing without any kind of hype whatsoever, and just explain to you what this is and if it's worth to you to participate or not. That's completely up to you, because you're responsible for your own being a self-sovereign individual for your actions. So this is an experimental project. This allows us to test the technology needed to interact between an EVM and a non-EVM world. We've set up a full node with Bitcoin, and we're very excited about all these developments that we can do with this. And we also have this multi-chain approach, of course. But the way you should see this, that it also allows you and every Xenian to get familiar with interacting with Bitcoin. You get to learn how Bitcoin works, how to transact, how UTXO works, etc. And you should always ask yourself before you burn your precious Zen, what am I converting it to? We don't promise that these will have any future utility. If we think that they will have value to build on in the future, we might do so. But that's like no guarantee. If the community thinks it's worth it, they're going to build something that with it as well. An interesting aspect of this is that the Xenian community is already pretty large. And within this community, there is a portion of it that's going to be very excited about this and participate in this. And it's also a way for a sort of a Bitcoin sub-community to merge in that sense, because we're testing the interest. We're testing the Xenian interest to interact with the Bitcoin blockchain. So the users and the Xenians participating in this is also something that is very interesting. So with that said, I will tell you why I will participate in this project myself. And I see ordinals as a thing. It's not going away. And the fact that I, for the first time in 14 years since Bitcoin basically launched, now I can interact with the chain more than just like transacting with it. We are talking Bitcoin and I now, and I didn't do that before with Bitcoin. I say, hey, here's a picture of a monkey, inscribe it, and it does. And the monkey is immutable there forever. A picture of the monkey, of course. I say, hey, inscribe this, which is like attached to a bigger concept, and bam, we have an inscription of a game. I have to show you this, guys. This is absolutely amazing. We have from our own Zen artist. He's historic because he inscribed. Go to santoshiblocks.com. He was very quick to understand this. So he created the world's first ever original game with Bitcoin Ordinals. So go play it. If you think this is interesting, go play with it, because it teaches you how to interact with the chain through using explorers, etc. It's awesome, really. It's like the creativity in this game is super fascinating to me. So okay, so I can describe. Think of it like this: I can describe images, I can describe data, I can describe something that has an interactive component to it through a game, for instance. I can also inscribe something that could work as a fungible token on top of Bitcoin. So the birth of, they call it BRC20 tokens, is like in full motion. You should pay attention to this. So the fact that we now can give each and every individual Satoshi a serial number and inscribe something on it and create an ordinal. It's just like we haven't even seen we have no idea where this can go.
Exactly. I totally agree with you. Like, I think everyone has a theory of where it's going to go, but the synthesis of what it actually is and where it goes is it's going to be surreal. Like, I was in a space with Joseph talking, and he was talking about how you can make basically password protected files that decrypt, and you can store them on Satoshis. And so you have free, forever, uncensorable information storage. Like, what? You know how crazy that is? You know how surreal that is? You know how much corporations pay for data storage? It's like Iron Mountain, the entire stock is just based around file storage.
Yeah, right. You have projects like RV Filecoin that are working with immutable storage, but Bitcoin as a use case for permanent storage is also very cool, of course.
Yeah, and the upper limit of how many ordinals is huge. It's 100 million times 100 million, which I don't know the number, but it's a big number.
Right. Yeah. Yeah. So if you're aware of the like risk reward ratio, I mean, you can look. I think you should look at this as a experimental thing. Will it have value in the future? If you're putting your speculator hat on, who knows? But like if you're a degen speculator, then you're sort of looking for things like this in a way as well. But there's like,
from my point of view, well, sorry, I didn't mean interrupt you.
No, go ahead.
From my point of view, you're this is something for you if you're interested in the art, the on-chain provenance of participating in the auction, X1 airdrop. You know, if you want that, and then well, also, like, for those who win XENKnights, I plan to add a bot to my personal Discord for checking ordinal ownership, so everyone who wins can enter if they want to. And I post all kinds of stuff in there, and that's an easy way for me to contact you and stay connected with basically people who are holding my art. And so, like, that's a simple, like, artist to holder utility right there, where basically you can get into my personal Discord, right? It's not a huge thing, but like small things like that, you know, you can basically participate in my personal side of the community. But yeah, like art and on-chain provenance, I think are the two big things. Like if you were there to mint a CryptoPunk for free, then you were there to do it. No one else can do it. You know what I mean? Like a year passes, you can't, like that guy can't do it. You know what I mean? And so
right.
It's literally for the people who participate. If you participate, you can get one. If you don't, you can't. If you don't participate, you have to buy one from someone who got one. And someone who got one burned their Zen and got one. Are they going to be willing to sell one to you for like a, you know what I mean? Like there's all kinds of little questions. I mean, it's going to come up with its own thing. It's basically art.
Yeah. And if you don't like really see I mean, if you see the this is the Zen inceptive projects on Bitcoin, and I think there's going to be many more in the future from probably us and also the community. But if you see the value in Bitcoin, if you see the value in Zen, want to be part of this like OG Zen community sort of action, then you participate. Then consider burning your beloved Zen for it. But if you don't, then don't do it. But at least what I would recommend everyone to participate in the auction, you can just burn one Zen at least to try it out, to see how it works, to get a Taproot ID wallet. I think it's irresponsible not to, because you sort of should be aware of how it all works. And if you don't like it in any way, then you at least know why you don't like it more. So
I plan to participate, even though it's my own thing. I want one. I'm gonna try to get one. It might be that it's out of my art price range, but I mean, yeah, think about it like art. Like, how much would you pay for art, right? If it's
right.
like if you would pay $60 for art, maybe bid $60 a Zen, and if you get one, you get one. And you know what I mean? Don't like go spend $16,000 of Zen on art when you would never spend $20 on art. You know what I mean? That's the way I would see it. But yeah, I'm gonna probably make a little bid and hope I get one. But I'm not gonna cut off an arm.
I'm gonna ape in.
Yeah, I'm not gonna degen in.
So utility, it is what it is. It's in the first 500,000 inscriptions. You're sort of part of Bitcoin Zen history. It's first principles. It's a fair launch. It might be, I don't know, the most fair launch on Bitcoin ever.
It might be actually, yeah.
Yeah,
that might have its own. I mean, if you go look at how much ordinals are going for, they're going for an astounding amount of money. Some of them. So, somebody cares. Somebody. It's like Jack said, that the TVL there's the highest, so that the most value is there. And so like that literally just means somebody cares, basically. Sailor cares.
Sailor cares. Yeah, he's happy with his.
Well, I think everybody should care. I think when there is a net positive effects on the marketplace and people have more things to do with Bitcoin, everybody just ends up winning. And Bitcoin for the longest time has suffered with adoption, not only in the regular finance, but more specifically with its inability to do any sort of DeFi. And one could argue DeFi is extremely important for the space. And what we see with Ordinals is that there are marketplaces coming up that allow the first ever DeFi to be done on the Bitcoin blockchain, which ultimately will onboard a lot of people in the know within the crypto space, who will then later educate the normies of what this whole thing is all about.
I super agree. I really like that view where you look at it as the pie getting bigger, so it's better for everybody. Yeah,
it's, net positive, a friend of mine said net positive crime, where, basically he said that if everybody go to jail, there will be news on the fact that it happened. And if it happened, actually people will be looking at the space more seriously. But in this particular case, the net zero sum game actually is positive. It's not net zero in any way, because we're creating more value within the decentralized space rather than taking value away.
I agree. Yeah.
So we're getting a few questions in the comment section. So the link is I'm posting it again. Make sure you go to the right one, because we have testnet 5, and this is a preview that's Zen.network. It should work. It's not. It's just for testing purposes now, guys. The real auction hasn't started. This is a test auction. This is on DevNet. You're not going to get a DevNet sort of ordinal or anything like that. This is just a test, and then we start the real auction on Monday. That's the plan. So this is just to get you guys prepared, to get you guys familiar. You see how the auction works, and then it's going to be super exciting, of course, to participate in this auction and to see who the winners are.
Super fun. Should we maybe take some questions from the audience?
Yeah, we can do that. I also, what I have left on the agenda is I want to show Sparrow Wallet a little bit, how it works.
Okay.
But yeah, should we do that first, or should we take some questions?
Let's take some questions, because I think we brought up a lot of interesting topics, and people may have questions at this point.
Right. Baho, can I connect a Taproot wallet to a cold wallet such as Ledger, just keeping my Ordinal on there?
I believe the Sparrow wallet does have a USB connection to the Sparrow, or at least I see an icon. Oh yeah, it actually sees my connected Ledger right now, and I can hit connect, and it will connect to it.
Right. It is where we are testing bidding Brighton right now. I guess he means this is just a test auction. It was the previous. How many auctions will there be in total?
Just one auction, right? 72 hours.
Yeah, this is just one-off thing. This is experimental thing number one. I mean, if there's a huge interest in the community about Ordinals, I'm personally very happy to create more stuff with it. There's one more project that I'm not going to talk about. Jack, you know what I'm talking about. That's if there's interest, then we'll probably do that. That would be super cool as well. But let's do this one first.
Yes.
Will we participant? Will we have X1 airdrop if we burn our Zen? Yes, anything you burn Zen for is going to yield you X1 airdrops. It doesn't matter what you're burning Zen for. If there's a burn record created, you're going to get. It's not going to go on forever, so we haven't decided actually how long it's going to go on for, but until further, that's the case. Do you guys also inscribe code in the Ordinal so they get utility in the Zen ecosystem?
I have a question about this here.
Yeah.
So when the people bid, it has a record on chain of their Ethereum address too, right?
Sorry?
When people make a bid, it has a record of their Ethereum address too, right? Along with their Taproot address.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's really cool.
So this goes on. We're only going to do this on Ethereum. This just because it's an experiment. And everything goes on the EVM world. So you're interacting completely on the EVM. You're just providing your Taproot ID, and the Ordinal gets then sent to you on your Bitcoin wallet. Because we think it's like a good first step for seniors to. We want to get as many people as possible familiarized with this process.
Yeah, that's awesome.
Let's say 10 billion and 1 Ordinals, it makes us eligible for airdrop. If you burn 10 billion Zen, that's going to give you airdrops. I once heard not 90% of XM will be allocated on Moon parties, 10 for other projects, or the Ordinals with other projects. So the way we're thinking, so the tokenomics for XN, for X1 is still being worked on. That's going to take many more months to really settle. But what we've said there is that what we're thinking is that 90% is going to be allocated for the Moon Party auctions, 95, and then 5% or whatever go to the airdrops. Let's see.
So a lot of people ask about the airdrops and the proposed allocation and all of that. I just wanted to remind everybody that the tokenomics of any number that we announce is not an official announcement until we actually produce a white paper that describes the tokenomics. So we're currently very actively developing the ways that we can make it fair for everybody. So whatever that you hear, whether it's 10%, 5%, 7%, none of it is set in stone, and we're working on the proper ratios for everything to work well.
Yeah, exactly. When Lambo, sir, says Zen had NFTs. Prepare your questions, guys. Let's go back to them, but let us showcase a little bit about how. Oh yeah, first of all, do this. Where are we? This is what you should do, guys. Sparrow wallet, like you can like, if you want to make it easy for you, you can like download a like an ordinal aware, so to speak, wallet, such as like Xverse or there's many of them. You can just Google and you find a bunch of them. Just choose one that you feel is trusted. But I think you should at least try to download Sparrow Wallet, and I'm going to demonstrate a little bit about how it works. So you just go to sparrowwallet.com and you can download it from there. And if you do, you're going to get a wallet that looks like this. So this is just my like educational. Sorry, Senator MCs, I'm going to remove you. Just my like experimentational wallet for educational sake. If you go to new wallet, it doesn't come up to you. If you go to file, new wallet, you can just like create a new wallet and then give it a name, and it's going to look like this. This is the first thing that comes up. So this is the first thing you do. You download the wallet, you go to file, create new wallet. This is very important because here you need to choose which script type you're going to have for the wallet. So you need to choose Taproot. This is very important. And then you just go ahead and click here, new and imported, and a pop-up comes up. It doesn't show for you now, but there you choose your mnemonic words. So you can choose 24 or 12 or whatever. You write them down. You don't store them on your computer. You save them somewhere safe, etc., etc. You all know this. And then that's sort of the, then you click apply, and then you have your new wallet created. So in this wallet, there's a bunch of tabs on the left side. So here you have settings, and here you can see that my wallet is a Taproot enabled wallet. So that's fine. That's basically the most important setting that you need to know of. Then the other tabs is, we have one tab for transactions. So here you can see all the transactions that you have made in this wallet. You also have a send. This is where you, if you want to send something, you go here and you paste the address and you label it something. And I'm going to showcase this. And then you choose the amount, if it's BTC or Sats, and also the fee range, how much you're willing to pay. Here is if you want to receive something. So this is important, guys, because basically all you need to do is download this wallet, follow this instruction I did, and then you basically just copy this address, because this is your Taproot address. This is the address that you will participate in the auction. So you just need to copy this, and in the auction you paste this when you're participating in the auction. Now, here you can see, and this is like the concept, like with Ethereum, you have one address, right? But here you have multiple addresses. So the receiving addresses, they are constantly changing. And then you have something called a change address. Think of it as like you are paying for a banana and you're giving it $100 bill, and then you're getting change back. You're getting $70 back. It's an expensive banana. The cashier wants to know where should I send this change to. So this is going to be your like change addresses. This is not something you have to like worry about. I'm just explaining what it is. And then you have the UTXOs. So this is the unspent transaction outputs. So this is actually an ordinal that I inscribed. So the thing with Sparrow Wallet is that it's, you know, this thing with ordinals, it's so new. So the benefit of choosing a more simpler wallet is that they are more ordinal aware. So your ordinals gets displayed in like as an image in them. And the Sparrow wallet haven't introduced this yet, and I'm not sure they're going to do that. But what you do instead is you go to this output, you right click, and then you copy it. Oh, it doesn't show for you. But if I right click, there comes up copy transaction output. So if I do that, and then I'm going to show you, it's a little bit going back and forth there. Then if I go to ordinals.com, it looks like this. So ordinals.com, that's sort of like an explorer where you can watch all the inscribed ordinals. So this is like the latest inscription. It's some kind of dog. But if you paste this transaction output there and hit enter, it's a bit slow. But it should come any second now. There we go. So here you can see the output, and this is an inscription. So if you click on that, we get to the actual inscription. So with this explorer, you can paste the output, and then you see the inscription. So this is an ordinal. I just
that's cool. I like that.
Are you a Zenite warrior? Jack, are you a Zenite warrior?
I am now.
Yes,
you
sir.
are now. So let's go back to the wallet. But what we should do now is just send a normal Bitcoin transaction. So I'm actually going to send it to myself. So I'm copying this address in the receive tab. Then I go to the send tab. I paste it here. I label it something, live stream send, bam. Then I choose how much I want to send. So I'm just going to send like, let's say, if I choose max, it chooses a UTXO I already have. So I'm not going to send so much. I'm going to send 50,000. 50,000 sats, that equals, you can see it right here in the UI. It's like $15. Then what you do is you choose how much. This is just like you're used to in Ethereum, where you can choose the GUI. So now I don't want you guys to wait. So I'm gonna overpay quite a lot. You can see here, it's pretty cool. You can see what it fetches data from the blockchain already. And by the way, you have to make sure that this one down here is yellow. That means it's what do you say? The wallet is live or something like that. But here you can see the fee that you pay to the miner. And this is interesting, guys, because here you can see the inputs and outputs of this transaction. So I'm taking this input. This is where I'm taking it from. I'm doing the transaction. I'm sending it to myself, to the address that I copied. The change comes to this other address that I also have, and the fee goes to the miner. So in one transaction, this address like stops being relevant. It just drops out of existence, basically. You do the transaction, and I send this to another address, and I send this to myself in this case, and then there's a fee. So all you do is you click create transaction, you finalize, and then you sign it. And then I just have to fetch my password. There we go. Schmack, boom, bam, sign, and then broadcast. Bam. So now I broadcasted it. And if you click here, you can this is swap again. Schmack. Here you can see this is the next block. This is the blocks that have already been produced. So since I chose a very high fee, I'm very likely to get picked into the next block. So that's why this white triangle is very close to here. If I paid Jack, you have a transaction still going strong, still being idle. That's been pending for weeks and weeks now, and because you choose, you did it as an experiment, right? You choose like only 2 sats per virtual byte.
Yeah. So I'm actually looking for it right now. I have a bookmark. It's been going on for a month because I just, there was this one day in Denver at 2 sats per VB, and that was the last transaction that did not go through, and it's never been 2 sats per VB since then.
Is it cancelable or no?
It's not. Technically, you can raise your fees, and there's a way to do it, but you can't do it on like Sparrow wallet. There's no option or nothing that I have seen.
So that means that since it's UXTO, I get dyslexic over that. It means that the money's trapped in there. Any money in the wallet?
Yeah, so that's actually a problem when it comes with the UTXO. Like imagine you having $1 million in UTXO, and then you make a mistake where you send $5 to a friend, and you specify very, 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 very low sats per VB. What happens to your $1 million UTXO? It gets reduced by $5, and 999,995. Those funds are actually now stuck until the transaction is finished.
Yeah.
So you do not ever want to do that. So like anybody who doesn't really understand UTXOs, do not ever click max button or select all of the UTXOs for a transaction, because all of your, even if you're sending something very little like $1 or 50 cents or $5, all of your funds will be stuck on the blockchain trying to get mined.
Oh, you're saying if you select more than one wallet?
More than one UTXO.
Oh, I see. They're like,
yeah.
I think I know what you're talking about. Yeah.
So for example, imagine you have a UTXO with all of your funds, like $1 million, and then you have your 5 ordinals that live in the individual UTXOs. So what you decide to do is you decide to combine the $1 million UTXO with a couple of ordinals so that you have more fees, and then by accident you enter really, really low fee rates. So what happens is that the UTXO with most of the funds will also get stuck.
Oh, wow. Yes. It's really good we're covering this on the stream, because I feel like a lot of people don't know about this. This is my weakest point in crypto is UTXO, because I'm an Ethereum baby. I grew up on Ethereum basically. So that's all I know about really. That's like where I've put most of my creative energy, so this has really been a learning experience.
Yeah. So really sorry, I'm going to repeat this real quick for the other stream that I'm rebroadcasting. What I was saying is if you have $1 million UTXO and then you have another UTXO you're trying to send, if you combine them and send them over the blockchain with a very, very low fee, what will happen is that all of your UTXOs will get stuck, and you're going to have to really consult an expert or maybe learn yourself how to use a command line way to do an RBF. And by the way, Zen, so you see how it says RBF under features on your screen?
Yep.
You see the RBF? So if you hover over it, it will give you a tooltip. See how it says this transaction supports replaced by fee, allowing fee bumping. So there's a fee bump in some of the wallets, but a lot of wallets do not have implementation of raising fees like you would generally see in MetaMask. So it becomes a huge hassle to get all of your funds back out from the blockchain. So you do not ever want to set your fees way too low. It's just, you're going to be in really kind of like in a blockchain jail, so to speak.
Yeah, since it's a decentralized system, everyone who's willing to pay just gets ahead of you. And so if there's always people willing to pay, you never get to go.
You know what we should do? We should also inscribe something. What do you say? While we're at it.
Yes, because, show us.
Yeah, because this is just going to, now I just did a normal Bitcoin transaction. It's pretty boring. Just choose a high fee, so it should get included in the next block. And you can see here, it's not, oh, there we go, just because we said it. Now it's included in the block, it's inscribed, it's getting its confirmations 1 minute ago. And you can see it's not exactly 10 minutes between each block. It varies a little bit. So it can be like up to 30 minutes or even more. And sometimes it's just 1 minute. But let's actually inscribe something. And the best thing that I recommend you guys doing, just to try it out, is to go to gamma.io/ordinal. So I'm posting it in the link if you guys want to do it right now as well. And here, what should we do? An image or a text? What do you say, guys?
Do bulk images.
Bulk images. Okay. I need some bulk images to.
Let's get some bulk images.
It's going something. No, let's do keep it simple. Let's just do a text for now. Tell me what to write.
I don't know.
October 8th, Ethereum becomes deflationary.
Oh, that's a good one. I was going to say, who knew we would be worried that inflation wouldn't be high enough?
Yeah. Ethereum is misspelled.
Ethereum. Yeah.
Deflationary, right? Or wait. Yeah.
Ooh.
Deflationary.
Deflationary.
Oh. Yeah. There we go. Okay. We send a message to the future.
I love the boom.
And the next step is that you choose your fee. So if you're not in a hurry, you can choose the economy fee, or now we just higher, just because we want it to be.
Choose the custom fee, because that's actually, the custom fee is the best way to manipulate your sats.
Okay, that's true. So
and make it like 10 or something.
All right.
There we go.
And now I go to my Sparrow wallet, and you know how it works. You go to the Receive tab, and there's a new address there for me. So I paste this there. You should do this stuff as well. We're not doing it now. You should read this. Yeah, I read fast. And now what it wants me to do is it wants me to send this service Bitcoin to this address, so it can inscribe our text for us. So let's go back again to our wallet. Bam. And we want to send. So we pay to this address that I pasted. We do poetry, we call it. The amount, we copy paste it as well from there. Amount to low, because it was denominated in Bitcoin, not the sats. And then we overpaid as always. And here you can see the transaction. Okay, it doesn't actually show for you. But you can see it down here. So
don't overpay so much though. Like go with like maybe 16. You see how it's pink? Anywhere on the pink is good.
Yeah.
So like go like down to like at most 20.
All right.
Yeah, that would be good, and I think that will work too. And by the way, that little chart on the right actually tells you where most of the transactions are. I think it if you hover on it or click on it, maybe.
Yeah, it shows. It comes up, but it doesn't show for you.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's kind of like more information there.
And again, we're doing a transaction. We're taking it from one wallet, and we are paying it to this address. And this is our change that we get in a new address. And then this is the miner fee. And then we just create this transaction. We make sure it looks good. We finalize it. We sign it. And then I have to put in my password. It comes up in a pop-up. And then we broadcast this transaction, and then we click it there, so it opens up. And boom, now we are inscribing.
Okay,
so we're inscribing an ordinal.
So we're at 19.6 sats per VB. We should really... And by the way, guys, when you look at the blue blocks that have already been done, see how it says 6 minutes ago? So it actually 6 minutes has elapsed. Now, technically, on average, every block is mined every 10 minutes. Sometimes it's faster, sometimes it's slower, but you can see that 6 minutes actually already elapsed, and now the block is being mined.
Right, it's pretty cool. And I aped in last time with the protocol fee, with the miner fee. So then you can notice that my this white triangle was very close to here. Oh, you don't see my mouse. But it was very close to the righter edge of this box. Now,
by the way,
Jack stopped me, so it's more in the middle here. But
we're still. Yeah, I mean, it's also. I mean, like it's fine. You can actually pay a gazillion sats per VB. In fact, what we saw a month ago, one of the ordinal inscribers decided to take the whole block. So he put a picture of 1 megabyte large, and that's the maximum size of a block. And I think he paid like $78,000 for it. So he just bought the whole block for $78K, and he's like, okay, this is my ordinal. It sits on top of the whole block. No other transactions except him.
I'd print that out and put it on my wall if I was him.
Well, I'm sure he's very proud. I mean, like he literally just gave up almost $80,000 to the miners just to do that, just to put 4 megabytes of an image.
This brings up a question I had earlier, but I forgot to ask. Jack, do you think that Ordinals basically solves like what happens to Bitcoin after it's all mined? That the fees.
Yeah, that's exactly what I was gonna say. Is that I mean, I would hope by then there will be more activity and optionality in terms of what you can do. But for the longevity of the blockchain, we want blockchain to be useful and receive high fees from people who are willing to pay them.
Right, yeah, because if you have to have the fees to keep up the infrastructure, otherwise no one wants to provide the infrastructure, right?
Yeah.
Right.
And guys, remember, now we're degening into explaining how this like very complicated wallet. Jackpot, our ordinal was just sent to the inscription service.
Okay, so it got mined. Now, what does the gamma say?
So now it says bam. Now it's waiting to be confirmed at that inscription service.
Yeah. Click on view details. There's inscription and view details. Yeah, right there, view details with an arrow.
Yeah.
Okay, so deposit address, recipient address, refund address. So recipient and refund looks like the same address. So it's the recipient address is where the ordinal is being inscribed into, right?
Yes, exactly.
Okay.
And now I'm checking what. So it's going to take a little time.
By the way, you can take that recipient address and paste it into the mempool just to see. Oh, look, it just happened, right? So inscription ID showed up.
Ah, those 10 sats got you through.
Yeah. So when you click on the inscription ID, what do you see? Oh, there we go.
Yeah. It takes a while for it to properly show, but you have the inscription pending.
What do we see on mempool when you paste the same address? Like the recipient address, for example. So nothing there yet.
Yeah.
So it's showing zeros because it's never been used, but once it gets transmitted, which should happen within the next block being mined, because what did we specify? 20 sats per VB?
Yeah.
Something like that. No, or maybe 10. I forget. But anyway, yeah, I think we did 10. So the next block should actually have it. Unless everybody's APIN and overpay for fees, then we'll be bumped to the block afterwards.
Yeah, exactly. And then what you do, like we showed in the beginning, you just go to your UTXO and show copy the transaction output, and then go to ordinals.com to actually view it. So I just did that, and now the site is loading a bit, but it should come up there. So that's basically how you inscribe something. You should try it.
Made it look easy.
So this is actually interesting. We're used to 10-second finality on Ethereum, and on X1 we're striving for a lot faster, of course. But this is an aspect with Bitcoin that we can't get away, like the speed of inscriptions. Everything we do with this added utility for Bitcoin, it's still going to be limited to the 10-minute blocks. So
what's really cool is you hear about omni-chain projects, but they're never on Bitcoin. Zen is actually omni-chain. Well, I guess it's not fully yet, but it's getting there.
Yeah, Ordinals.com, it's pretty slow, but it works. You just have to have a little patience.
Yeah, by the way, one of the really exciting future projects would be is to have X1 connected to Bitcoin blockchain.
Oh yeah, that'd be awesome.
Yeah, because what we really want to do is we want for people to have an ability to create smart contracts that can send you data to the ordinals.
Wait, explain that one more time. I'm trying to wrap my head around it.
Yeah, so like imagine having a project on X1 EVM, and you write your code in Solidity with an option to encode an ordinal on Bitcoin blockchain.
Oh wow, that's really cool. So wow, so they'll just basically, like, people could come to the smart contract, interact with it, and out pops an ordinal into their Taproot address, basically.
Yes, so this would be similar to ZK rollups, where our chain, the X1, will do all of the logic and execution, but will settle your results to the Bitcoin blockchain. So
oh my gosh, that's cool.
Yeah, that's how ZK rollups work for Ethereum too. Like specifically Optimism and Arbitrum, they do relatively expensive computations and then settle everything on Ethereum. So we can do the same with X1.
Ah, that's Zen is so profound. It takes me like days to wrap my head around everything. I love it.
Yeah, and super exciting. So like right now, while we're waiting for this, just a little update on X1. So we have been playing with Polygon Edge, which worked really well. It sustains our onslaught of transactions. And now the Polygon team actually came up with something they call Polygon Supernets. And Polygon Supernets is not dissimilar to Polkadot mini-chain solution or omni-chain, where you basically create a side chain which can act like layer one, and it will have a bridge between all of the EVM compatible chains that is fully decentralized. So Polygon main chain will act as a bridging component for a supernet chain, which will be X1. So you should be able to send any tokens from Ethereum chain, mainnet, all the way to X1 over the Polygon's bridge. And we wouldn't even have to do much to design it. And then from back from X1, you can go back to Ethereum, or you can go to any other participating chain, Polygon itself, or Arbitrum, or Optimism, or anywhere you like. So that bridging solution will already be done. And they do have all the best bells and whistles in there, like the London fork and AIP 1559, better gas management support, like all of it.
So it's got like all the best stuff, basically.
Yeah, I mean, those guys, they've been working on it for a long time. And I mean, it isn't without problems, like any chain would have, but it's definitely one of the faster chains.
So cool.
It's like watching paint dry to inscribe on the Bitcoin.
I remember the first time I ever used Bitcoin, I didn't understand UTXO at all, and like I remember I got so locked up in my wallet. I said, okay, I gotta learn more about crypto before I mess with this stuff. Back in the day.
Ordinals.com is super slow right now, Jack. Maybe they're doing a reorg or something.
Does your address now showing the received ordinal or not?
It doesn't yet.
Well, that means it's Gamma's issue. Like specifically, they're not sending it fast enough.
Yeah.
Oh, I have an X1 question. So, how do I word it? It's like so you were talking about how no one should have control of X1 and it should be decentralized. Is there a chain, an EVM chain that is decentralized as you would like X1 to be, or would that be like a first of its class type thing?
So I would say the only chain that's really, I would say, truly decentralized in a way that there isn't a controlling interest when it comes to the economic keys, that would be Bitcoin. Because you could argue that the Bitcoin miners, like the largest companies that do mining, they control certain things, but they're certainly not controlling the monetary aspect of it.
Mm-hmm.
Like specifically, you could be the largest one and you can make some Bitcoin, but you wouldn't necessarily be affecting Bitcoin so much.
I see. So we're on par with well, X1, you want it to be on par with decentralization as like Bitcoin is.
Yeah, I mean, ultimately, I want it to be a first principles chain.
To me, that sounds like a service to humanity, because it would be the first EVM chain like that, wouldn't it?
Could be, unless somebody else comes up with something like that sooner.
Wow, man, that's so cool. I love that, because like people talk about use case. The use case is clear to me. I mean, truly decentralized EVM chain. I love that.
Well, I think when it comes to making money in crypto, there's two camps. There's one camp that says, let's mint the shit out of everything and sell it on the open market to the clueless communities and hype them up and dump on them. That's like 95% of the projects. Like I'm really sad about that. And then there's the metaverse / hyperstructure decentralized ethos and ideology, where it basically says, let's build a net positive technology that works in a fully decentralized way, and let's become co-participants and become true shareholders on par with the community, rather than go the easy way and pre-mint a bunch of tokens and then just sell them. Even if you have lockups and things like that, it's still not fair. It's not fair for somebody to hold an enormous financial admin key on the outcome of your project. It is much better to build something that is very sustainable, everybody can win, and you become one of the participants within the system itself. There's really no reason why that shouldn't be the case. Like, for example, Linux. So I come from the Linux background. I did a lot of open source projects in my life, and Linux belongs to everybody. And yet companies like Red Hat and there's like various others like IBM, they were making billions on making Linux more accessible, making it better, without actually claiming the license fees to sell Linux itself.
Yeah, I see. That's cool.
Yeah, guys. So you can also use Gamma.io to see your ordinals, but we inscribed this beautiful poetry on the Bitcoin blockchain, and it's going to be there forever now. It's pretty cool.
Boom. Huh? That's what I got from it. Boom.
Boom. So yeah, guys, we've been going on for a long time. Let's do a what do you say? Should we do a recap?
Sure.
We have an upcoming auction coming out. We have a test auction going on right now. It ends in 2 days and 19 hours, and it's on X1 DevNet. The live auction is going to be on Ethereum, the Ethereum network. We're only doing this project there, and what you're bidding for, the top 100 bidders, is going to get one of these 100 limited only ordinals, inscribed ordinals in the top. What are the inscription numbers, Jack? It's around 300,000 something. So it's definitely in the top first 500,000 ordinals.
Yeah, it's low 300,000s.
Low 300,000s. That's awesome. So go there, play with it, connect to the site. You need some X1 tokens, which you only can get if you participated in minting NFTs. You choose your bid. You paste your. Let's see. Yeah, that's mine. I'm gonna place another bid. 100. You place your bid. Now I'm topping up a bid I already have. You can see here I'm currently on position number 6 in this auction. We got a question before. Will all bids be displayed, Jack, or only the top 100? I think we should display all bids. But then there should be sort of a line for the top 100 bidders. I don't know what's best.
Yeah, I mean, technically, we should show all. The problem, though, is that if we have way too many people, the page will never load.
Top 200 might be good, so you can see deep enough below.
Yeah,
100.
I think top 200 actually is fine, and it will tell people at least if they're on their way of if it will tell people if they're on their way, if there's 200 lines in there at least. There's also like what we saw and what we can borrow from the Yuga Labs. They were saying the lowest spend or burn for the number 100 is this. For you to get into top 100, this is how much I need to burn.
Right. Yeah, it would be great if we could see that as well.
So that would be very, very useful. We should talk to our dev team and see if it can be done.
Yeah, I think we had it in an early version, but that was definitely useful. Because you want to know how far am I from being in the top 100. And it's very, like, what's different from that Yuga Labs is the fact that we're not collecting your money here. All the Zen that is in the winning bids are going to get burned, so it benefits the whole community. And if you're not in the top 100, you can reclaim your Zen. So you're only sacrificing the transaction fees in that case. So yeah, guys, I'm super excited. This is going to be awesome. We're doing our first auction with the Ordinals.
We're going to have the Zen Night bonfire.
Yeah, the Satellite bonfire. Super excited about this project. I love Ordinals. I think the use case for Bitcoin is amazing to follow. This is a great way for our community to start interacting with it in a very transparent, fair launch way, as always. And if you win, guys, you're going to win one of these Ordinals. These Ordinals.
Think about it. Think about it as being ordained as a Zen Knight in Flames of Zen. There you go. Boom.
That sounds amazing. And I think, I mean, with DBZen being out and showing daily participation today, it's actually easier for people to understand exactly how this whole thing works. So with DBZen, you just get the allocation for the DXN token. If you burn a lot, here this is very similar. You also burn, but if you're not in top 100, your Zen deposit will be returned back to you. So you cannot lose. You can only lose some gas fees, but you shouldn't be able to lose more than that. If you're in top 100, you're definitely getting an Ordinal.
Awesome.
Yeah, I'm excited. Are you guys excited?
I'm excited. I'm very excited. And Jack, I said this last time, but truly thank you for the opportunity to do the Zen Nights. I never thought I'd get to do something like this. You know, I'm just a plumber, but now I'm an artist.
You're a Zenian.
I'm a Zenian. There it is.
Yeah, we're all Zenians. We're all Satoshi, and we're having amazing time developing all of those things. And actually, feel shameless talking about it, because when I go to Twitter and I talk about DBZen, I don't feel have any reservations of telling people what exactly is happening there, just because it is actually a community project, and we do not have a direct way to benefit from it just by telling people about it. And that's what makes it so, I would say, amazingly healthy, when you can just basically can describe the process rather than create falsehoods and hype and FOMO just because you want a good exit for yourself. Because this does not happen. It's not happening with Zen Multiverse or Zen Ecosystem.
I agree. It's like you said, it's a good proof of concept. With that the developers at DBZen made something that was first principles that took Zen as an input and then had its own output. I thought that was a great way you put it, as a proof of concept, and it had such good product market fit that the inflation wasn't even ready for it at all. Like, no one had enough Zen. It's crazy.
Yeah, it's amazing. Like, for the longest time, people were screaming, "Look at the hyperinflation! Look at it! It's just like nonstop, infinite printing." And now we're at 60% of the liquid supply.
With just only been one project that has product market fit. Imagine 10.
That's exactly right. Exactly right. It's been 6 months, and 40% of liquid Zen is either getting staked or burned, or something else happens to it. So the vision really was to use Zen as a peer-to-peer digital cash that you can apply to many interesting projects, like DBZen is one of them, and there will be more, I hope. So it's super great and super exciting that actually works exactly as it is planned to be designed. Now, a lot of people think, why are you talking all about those other tokens? You should be focusing on Zen. But guys, Zen is complete. It's done. We're now talking about the build cycle to make the ecosystem even larger. So people who are saying we should be shilling Zen to everybody, they actually do not understand that the utility comes from the fact that Zen can be used to get into other projects. And that's very important for the value.
It's kind of like the Zen ecosystem is like a game, and you got to get the game's currency to play. And so you see something you want to do in this game, and you're like, oh, how do I play? Oh, I need Zen. And then, and if you assume that a community grows over time, then you almost have to assume that the mentors in the beginning will be less in number than the users of the protocols in the future, depending on how long in the future and how far early in the beginning you're talking about. And so it actually is kind of obvious that inflation was going to have a hard time keeping up with deflation, as long as the thesis went along as planned. And I think so far you've had a great proof of concept on Zen.
Yeah, for sure. Thanks. And I also want to reiterate that there was a lot of I guess misinformation floating around, where people were saying they're just launching new tokens to take attention away from Zen's failure. Well, the comeback is really simple. Why is Zen pumping? Why is it 5x off the bottom? Well, if we were taking attention away from it, wouldn't it just be sold continuously more? Well, no, that's not the case. You're using Zen, you're burning it, you're converting it into either a cap token or a deflationary token, or into an NFT or an ordinal. So it isn't about creating tons of tokens to remove attention from the price chart. It is actually about providing utility for the ecosystem and the Zen as currency that we're building.
Awesomeness.
Yeah, and you don't have to participate in everything that goes on, because there's going to be so many different projects, because we're seeing builders more and more come in and love what the Zen ecosystem has to offer, and want to build with Zen as the means for fair distribution, first principles protocols. And that was nice. We want to create an awareness of everything that's being built on this ecosystem, and that's why we're having all these streams and all this education for you guys to really think. You have Zen, you understand what Zen is. Now, if you convert that into something else, what is that? And is that something I want to? So some people love the digenuity of DBZen. And that's really like the most insane launch we've ever seen. Some people will really value what Bitcoin has to offer, and some people will value more longevity protocols like Phoenix coming out, etc. So you have to think. We got a question there. Can a whale buy all positions? So number one, this is a permissionless non-KYC participation auction. So technically they can, but they would have to burn a hell of a lot of Zen in order to do so.
Imagine the flex. I got all 100 XENKnights.
Right. Yeah. So that would create a lot of burn, and there's no obvious way how to mitigate that in a small auction like this. In DBZen, they get diluted pretty quickly, for instance, in that kind of daily auction. But here they basically could, but you'd have to you have to compete with everyone else. You have to overbid yourself. And if you do, you're gonna burn a hell of a lot of Zen, and that's for the benefit of the whole community. Anyway, I don't know if you have anything to add on that, Jack. I think that's a good answer. When does the auction close? This is the test auction that goes on DevNet. The real auction is going to start on Monday. So this is just the X1 DevNet auction, and the real auction is going to be on Ethereum. We've been going for quite some time now, guys. Do we have any more questions? Let's do 2 more. Joseph's in the house. For 6 months, Zen relentlessly inflated supply, but since 1 week ago, cumulative burn of NFTs and DBZen outpaced the production, turning Zen deflationary. XENKnights will only add to this effect. That's exactly right.
The minters got to step it up. The people who are happy to just market buy and burn seem to be numerous.
Yeah, if you that's the thing. If you haven't minted, if you don't have any mints coming out, and I did a post yesterday, I think it was, where I show the transparent Fed that we talk about yin and yang, and I also talked about if you look at Zen Turbo and you see, let's go there right now. If you see the upcoming mints coming out within the next 30 days. Let's see here. If you go here you can see, guys, the Zen supply is currently deflationary. You can see the burn. The seniors are just eating out of this cake. They're hungry vampires. This is the blood. That's why it's red. And here, if you look at the future claimables, and what is it today? It's the 12th. So let's drag this to what is 4? It's 5. Bam. In a month, the accumulative Zen that's coming out on the market, it's 2.2 trillion Zen. So that sounds like a lot. However, you have to put this in perspective so first of all, that's the Zen that we can expect coming out on the market today. Now, if we check the mint monitor, we can see that it's not beneficial to mint to make less than 56 days mint. So there's not going to be probably more Zen than that coming out to the market. Now, if we then go to Zen.pub by our amazing Joseph and see just one protocol, guys, and it's the DBZen auctions. So just in 21 days, only this protocol with these auctions have burned 1.7 trillion. So that's a monthly burn rate of I think it's 2.4 or something like that, 2.4 trillion.
Isn't that just monster?
This one protocol, you're burning more than we don't know what the future is. Of course, we can only make projections, but this is sort of how you need to think. You need to think how much is coming out, how much it's burning, and now we have XENKnights. Phoenix is around the corner, so more things will burn. So supply being issued versus supply being burned, and there sort of you have this balance.
I love DBs, and I think of it as my own personal gas token faucet on each chain. I can just and it's decentralized. It's like permissionless. You just make your own little faucet, and you can come back in a month and you have some Phantom, or you have some Binance, or you have some Ethereum. It's cool.
It is very cool. I woke up today, came to check the cycle being ending, so that I made 3.2 ETH from the previous 24 hours. It's just so amazing.
That's just unreal. 3.2 ETH. Wow, man.
Yeah. So this Zen Turbo and guys, I also have to go to do Zenpop, guys. We have an amazing senior that made this. This is so cool. We have now Zenflix, guys. We have Zenflix. Do you realize We have Zenflix.
Oh
in
yeah,
the Zen
this
community.
was well done. I thought this was I only looked through it like the other day just for like 10 minutes, but I thought it was well done.
Yeah, so this amazing Simian, he created this site, and he puts up all the different videos from all over the community. It's amazing that he collected all of them.
I love the way it is. Like it's so creative.
Right. It's absolutely awesome. So you can just go and based on the topic you like, and oh, here we also have some of my videos. That's cool. But who's this? This is I have no idea who this is.
All right, what's up, guys? Welcome.
This is some
back.
guy talking about Zen from various perspectives. How cool is this?
Wow, he's got so much content on there that it's like high discoverability for the community. You know, like people who don't know each other will connect.
Right, and he also collected some charts. That's very interesting. And what else does he have here? Some tools. So Zen Turbo, Zen.pub, Zenmon, Zen.fyi, Zen Squad. This is awesome, guys. This is so cool.
Wow, that really is awesome.
Zen music is really a thing.
Yeah, hey guys, I just wanted to put a little plug for Joseph and Zenpop. So Zenpop is absolutely vital in having data insights into how to participate with DBZen properly. Because there's really no way to know whether it's a good day to ape in, or maybe you should go, slow, maybe don't do anything at all. So Joseph dashboard makes the Zen universe available for interpretation in such a good way that it's, I don't know what I would do if it disappears. That being so, he does have a donate button on his website. If you guys feel that his dashboards are useful, please donate for his amazing work. He never asked for any money from anybody. He just decided to just participate in the community and build it all up from grounds up. And yeah, I mean, he's amazing in the way that he represents all the data. I mean, I go there all the time just to see what Zen's doing in terms of the total burn and how many addresses are being used. So it's just awesome. It's awesome the way I have people like that in the community that take away from their, full-time jobs, by the way, to do all this, just powered by passion alone. So do please give some donations for this site to continue to operate and to make Joseph feel good, and make him feel appreciated.
Yeah, we love Joseph. He's done an amazing job with all of these interfaces. If you're participating in DBZen specifically, you without Joseph, look, it's burned $5.7 million worth of Zen. It's absolutely amazing. I don't think this participation would have been this high without Joseph, because you sort of really need to look at in all of these metrics in order to see how you're going to participate. So it's actually Joseph, what you need to do here is also put in a Bitcoin address. You can also use Lightning Network, so people can pay you in Bitcoin as well. That would be cool.
I'm super happy that people are supporting the builders, because I remember in the early days, everything that was, everything was really archaic about Zen, and then the builders started building. Remember when CryptoCell or TurboCell IO came out, and it was amazing. You could see all the stats and everything. It visualized everything, and I feel like Zenmon's like that for me. Zenpub's like that for me. It just visualizes everything in an amazing way, and so I'm happy to see people are supporting them and stuff.
Yeah, there we go. That's I just posted the link to Zenergy.world, Zenflix, so you guys can check it out. Yeah, guys, so much going on. The builders are the heroes in the Zen story. Really, they're putting all their time, their effort in. They're just creating awesome stuff that we all utilize. That's so helpful. They're building protocols. They're building interfaces. They're building music. They're building all kinds of creativity. It's awesome to see. It really wouldn't be anything without the community participation, guys. So
It's like Jack says, the value is in the community.
We're grateful to you, XENKnight, for having you spent nights getting these XENKnights.
10 days. Thank you.
10 days, day and night, because you were like we needed the low inscription numbers as well, right?
Yeah,
So
well, I wanted it was, one of the really interesting things that I got a lot of practice from doing the 100 pieces was deciding when the piece is finished. And like you have to balance like it being good enough to where you're happy with it and speed, because of how you have to do the ordinal. You need to have the earliest possible ordinal numbers, and then they need to be ranked. So you got to finish them all really to be able to rank them. And so, man, it was a juggling of a lot of little bits of art game theory, but it was a lot of fun. I'm super happy to have been able to do it, and I hope people find it special. And I'm just stoked to have been able to do it, honestly.
And we also have to show where do we go to follow you on Twitter?
Here I'll pull up. I think it's I'll get it for like 100%. I won't say it wrong. My Twitter, my @ is XENKnights. I'll type it into the YouTube. Let me pull that up.
XENKnights. Oh, there we go. I found you. Go here, guys, and follow XENKnight. XENKnight.eth. I guess people can send donations to that site as well.
Yes, if they want to. I mean, no donations necessary, but I would be, anyone who feels the need. Thank you very much.
We have Lancelot in the house. Creative genius, Professor Lancelot.
I like that, Lancelot. I like that.
Yeah, Professor Lancelot. He came up with Professor Lancelot came up with the 11th law. Zenso, do you have the 11th law? Can we bring it up?
I remember this. I didn't know what you were talking about. You're talking about that. Oh, okay. Sorry, I was clueless for a second.
Post Lancelot. Post the link. It's absolutely brilliant.
Yeah, I thought that was so funny.
I can't find it now.
Well, it used to be on. It's actually on my Twitter, but it also used to be on his Medium. Unfortunately, he took it down. But in a nutshell, the 11th law basically says that it's a hypothetical theory that the early minters can still be in profit even with the price chart showing 99.9999% loss. So no matter what the chart says, you're still in profits somehow. So that's the 11th law.
It was in full effect there for a while for me. I would look at all my Zen mints. I'm like, wow, I'm still in profit.
All right, guys, let's finish this off. A lot of interesting developments, a lot of love, a lot of exciting stuff coming out. Next up is Zen minting is continuous. It just goes. DB Zen is going to go on for another 62 years. It's absolutely awesome to follow that developments daily. And now we're introducing XENKnights. So stay tuned, go play with it, and rock on. Rock on as always, guys.
Hell yeah. Well, great chatting with you all.
Yeah, for sure. Very, very glad to have you online.
Yeah, thanks, guys. Okay, let's just finish it right there. See you in the chats.
Yeah.
Yes, sir.
By the way, Zen, so how many people did we have join the stream?
Where do I see that? I never watched that.
In the
89
middle
are
of-
watching right now.
In the middle of that, I looked over. I think we had like 150 when we started, but I'm not sure. I didn't look at it throughout the beginning because I have so many tabs up.
Okay, so 150 for the education channel, and also 50 for Jack Lyon official as well, because I'm rebroadcasting the whole chat.
Right.
Awesome. Also, I might go through and clip the when you were making the inscription for the ordinals and like sending Bitcoin. I might clip that and do like a little tutorial, just because it's like it was so digestible.
Yeah, we always go on for so long, and it's like very undigestible for people. They're like not even gonna attempt to watch a 2-hour stream or how long we're going for, even more.
It's like you say, the builders are everything, and I say like making videos and stuff. That's that's building. Anything that you like, even like Zenflix, just compiling everything in a digestible way, like that's building in its own way. It's like someone said in the chat that they wouldn't have participated in Zen and DB Zen so much if they didn't have Zenpub. Like I think that's probably true for a lot of people. So if you want people to digest Zen more easily, just if you think that there's a video that should be clipped to be more digestible, do it yourself if you think you can.
I mean, that's sort of like it's a permissionless anarchistic democracy. So if you think something is lacking, well, then go build it, and that's what people have done. They've just like seen discrepancies of what's lacking, and then they've been thinking like, "Hey, I can do that." They built it. If it's good enough, seniors are going to love it. They're going to use it. Everyone's going to hear about it. So it sort of falls into place naturally with everything we're doing. So we have the fundamentals. We love what we're doing. It's awesome. We have an awesome community. People are excited. They're building stuff. And there's really no end to that. As long as it's fun, as long as we're doing something valuable, it's just going to keep on going. So, yeah, just keep it real and build it.
100% agree.
So, all right, guys. Thank you very much, XENKnight. Absolutely amazing. Thanks.
No problem. Pleasure
for
to be
your hard
here.
work and your contribution to this community. We're very excited to do this with you.
No problem at all. Thank you, guys.
And Jack, get better. Go to bed. You need to rest.
Yeah, I just need some fresh blood. That's all.
Right.
He needs another chain to be.
We don't rest until the next bear market. How about that?
That's right.
All right, guys. Thank you so much. Have an awesome day. Get a Taproot ID. Participate. Let's get some Ordinals. Let's get some XENKnights.
Hell yeah. See you guys. Peace out.
Peace out. Bye-bye.
Let's do it.
You have to say something more inspirational. Do it. That's what you want to end with?
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Good enough. Goodbye. Ciao, ciao.
Bye.